There's the first face-off. As we get a whistle and off the reset, it's Notre Dame who gets the first touch. There's number 8, Eric Dobson, one of the leaders of this midfield unit.
We're aware of that, but when we were speaking with Coach Corrigan, he mentioned how his play is evolving, and it's growing.
Here's Dobson, the lefty slings it, and he has the first goal within the first 30 seconds.
Right on cue, we have Dobson who receives the pass. He knows it.
Here's Kavanaugh. Gives it off. One-timer is good. Brian Devlin has his first goal in an Irish jersey.
Already on these first 2 goals, Notre Dame's doing a great job of spreading out their offense and making sure that there's space for allow their teammates not only find each other, but you see
possession control, able to win a few face-offs. That was an area they struggled at the beginning of last year, but have cleaned it up, and it has them back for more. Jack Simmons puts it home, and Notre Dame up 3-0.
Last year against the Golden Eagles, the Fighting Irish off to a slower start. But today there's 3 different goal scorers already. And Simmons just stops real quick on a dime, gets in between his defender, and then, well, as a true freshman last year, that's a tall order to ask for him to really compete at that such an elite level. But with the experience with teammates like Colin Hagstrom behind him, who was also helping to compete during practices, it makes him the player who he is today too.
That last possession was stopped in net from Michael Alieri, but the Irish able to recover. Alieri, junior goalie out of Wellesley, Massachusetts, led the Big East with 12.6 saves per game a season ago. Here's a touch for Chris Kavanaugh, younger brother of Pat, now in his sophomore year, but it's out of the midfield. Bryce Walker comes flying and continues Notre Dame's hot start.
And what you'll notice for Walker here, not only does he catch the ball on the run, he keeps running knowing there's a defender on him. He tucks his stick for a moment, and then he finishes it. Now that fourth goal scorer for Notre Dame. Really.
Here's a touch for Jack Simmons, already has 1 goal. Leaves it for Jalen Seymour. Back to Simmons. Some good passing for the Irish, leads to a shot, and it's Chris Kavanaugh this time. He's got his first goal on the new season.
And with that feed coming from behind the net, Chris Kavanaugh just goes to the ball, runs to the pass from his brother, does a nice job. Sooner or later, if Notre Dame keeps this coming, I'm sure Coach Simmel will want to have a timeout, regroup the guys, or cause a turnover like this in the transition game.
And who else? Number 77, Mason Woodward, the All-American defenseman, and it leads to a goal in transition. Bobby O'Grady records his first score of the night.
And from the defensive end, we've seen Woodward already this year have 2 goals, which means in transition, you got to pick him up. But he knows to distribute the ball. O'Grady finds the opening, dives across, and gets Marquette on the board.
Just really stepping up to the challenge as they're back on the offensive end, looking for a score this time. Here's a touch for Jake Stegman. One of those top scorers they brought back from a season ago. Inside, sliding, a beautiful goal is scored.
Get that ground ball, but that transition game, we already saw them score 1 goal today on that.
Here's Bayman from behind the cage, was met quickly by Peter Detweiler. Now Walker has it, he shoots top shelf, and he puts it in. Notre Dame gets back on track, and the score is 6-2 Irish.
And Patrick, you talked about how the Golden Eagles have answered on the defensive front to slow Notre Dame down. But here Walker gets the best of them. Dodges one-on-one. The slide comes a little late. And at that point,
Bayman has it underneath. Kavanaugh to Kavanaugh, inside number 0. Jeffrey Ricciardelli with the shot. It was wide. Ricciardelli, another one of those young sophomores on the attack who's expected to take on a big role this year, but it's the junior on the bounce, Eric Dobson with the netter.
picking up just like last year. From the outside, Dobson has the skip pass over the defense. The pass comes above the sticks in the lane from Marquette, and then throws it 5-hole.
Kavanaugh with a touch, looking to shake off his defender. He's double teamed. Loose ball is picked up by Chris Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh muscling his way through, and it looks like it will count. Found the back of the net. We waited for the official, and it's a goal for Chris Kavanaugh, second of the night.
Anytime Chris Kavanaugh has a short stick on him behind the net, that's the green light to go. And this is the reason why the inside turn gets his defender behind him and scores one more before
them in the offseason, you know, coming off a freshman year that was really successful, but it would be, how would he respond, how would he grow coming into his sophomore season? And from all the reports we've heard, it's been in the weight room, really, you know, getting his body in college shape, and it's paying off so far. Looking to have a sophomore season similar to the one we saw Pat Kavanaugh have a few years ago. Pat, after a decent freshman season that was cut short during COVID, really broke on the scene as a sophomore, ended up as a Tewaaraton finalist. And Chris looking to replicate that same success in his sophomore year. 8 seconds left, shot comes and it's in. Notre Dame squeaks a quick one before the first quarter sounds, and it's 9-2 Irish.
A moment ago was Chris Kavanaugh behind the net. This time you got Pat Kavanaugh instead, where he's had a couple assists already today. Then Ricciardelli cutting to the net. Quick stick, knowing there's a defender on his back. And right on cue as we talk about it, makes that save, and now the ball's going the other way.
Here's Eric Dobson. Shot comes, and it's scored. Beautiful pass over from Pat Kavanaugh. Looks like Jeffy Ricciardelli. Notre Dame back in their man-up offense. Chris Kavanaugh has it. Leaves it off for Fulton Bayman. Up top, Pat Kavanaugh dishes inside, and it's finished with ease. Griffin Westland.
When you're man up and that skip pass is available, you want to utilize it. Notre Dame did that the first time, and then this second time on the doorstep, Westland knows.
Here's Hayden Miller, sophomore out of Annapolis, Maryland. Coming off a one-goal performance against Utah, and he's got one tonight.
An answer that the Golden Eagles really needed. Notre Dame was going on a run, but Miller brings his defender behind the net there. And once he has his...
Kavanaugh showing patience, gives it off to Bryce Walker. Walker over to Chris Kavanaugh, inside that finds a cutting Jeffrey, Ricky Urdelli. And Richie Urdelli puts it on in for the Irish.
When you look at Notre Dame's attack, when you have Pat Kavanaugh and Chris Kavanaugh and their vision and how they can feed, between Richie Urdelli finishing around the crease, you could see that combination working well together. And for Richie Urdelli, it doesn't matter if there's...
Score is 12-3, Notre Dame. It'll be Marquette taking over possession as we enter play. There's Jake Bear, gives it off. Shot is ripped, and it finds a home. Jackson Rose with his 4th goal on the season.
Rose does not waste.
Pat Kavanaugh has it behind the cage. Pass intended for Westland, it was lost. Battle at the midfield, and we get a whistle. Marquette will take over. Marquette in transition. One-timer falls. Mason Woodward with a deep range shot.
It's not often that you find not only the defenders who cause a turnover, there's an over and back call here, but then long poles who stay on the offensive end, like Woodward. But we've seen him this year, scored the first game, scored the second game, and then here today.
And here's Jake Stegman off the reset. Stegman, good feed, and a flyer. Finds the back of the net. Will Foster makes it a 6-goal game.
The best feeder for the Golden Eagles shows you why. Stegman on the run from X, keeping his head up, and through the Notre Dame defense, the skip pass over to Foster, who's up top. This matchup last year, halftime score was 12-5 Notre Dame. And so we're looking at something similar, but closing the gap, maybe getting a goal or two from Marquette gains that momentum.
Will Foster muscling his way through a few defenders, finally will give it off. And now the shot is ripped, and it's in the back of the net. Jake Stegman had an impact with all the assists, but now making his mark in the goal-scoring column as well.
The possession before, he was the one dishing it to find his teammate. Now this time, when he gets the pass, he's ready to shoot. He steps down, and no one closes out on.
In the game clock. But regardless, it looks like Notre Dame will pretty much have the last shot of the half. But they come early, and it's scored. Big-time shot from Riley Gray puts an end to a Marquette run.
And this time, Gray just dodges across the field in the center of that Marquette defense. He doesn't need much space.
Have a flag flying off the reset. Notre Dame will play through it. Here's a shot, and he scored! Quinn McCann finally breaks this scoreless drought in the third quarter. And with that, we'll take a quick break. Right now, it's 14-7, Irish, midway through the third quarter. Well, for all the playmakers Notre Dame has offensively, how about the job we've seen between the pipes tonight from Marquette? Michael Alieri now up to 7 saves.
And the shot we see there, and even some of the others in that third quarter, he's following the ball. He's tracking it with his eyes, and whether it's his stick or his body, he's getting something in front of it to make the Notre Dame's offense keep seeing that center in the middle open and having guys on the crease who are ready to catch and shoot. That one just goes wide.
Here comes a shot from way downtown. Off the rebound, Richie Urdelli puts it in. There is a flag down, but it looks like that one will count for Jeffrey Richie Urdelli. It was a shot from outside, but off the miss, Richie Urdelli able to score.
And this is why you don't give up on plays. The rebounds are there, so even if a save happens, the ball is loose. Alieri doesn't have it just yet. So Richie Urdelli gets the ground ball and scores.
That's the 5th penalty of the night from Marquette, and it leads to a goal. Kavanaugh able to extend this Irish lead. They're now up 16-7.
Nothing fancy here other than just working the ball around and quickly. Richie Urdelli barely had that in his stick, and he dished it knowing that Kavanaugh was open, and he does the rest.
Chris Kavanaugh quarter. McCann inside. Looked to sling it out. It was intercepted by Logan Crines. Now there's a flag along the sideline as Crines ended up on the carpet. That one most likely will be against Notre Dame and Eric Dobson, as Dobson already taken a knee, kind of accepting his fate.
Yeah, you love the effort from Dobson, but might have been on his back and maintaining that possession. Flags drawn.
Will serve as a City Lax ambassador for the season, and hopefully we'll get the chance to interact with many youth lacrosse players in New York City. And just like that, fireworks to start this 4th quarter. Bobby O'Grady's back in the scores column.
Well, that was quick from Marquette not scoring in that 3rd quarter. Just on this man-up chance, a quick stick from O'Grady, getting his name back in the mix and finishing it.
Jalen Seymour, one of those players who only played one game a season ago during his freshman year, but expected to really step up and be a key contributor in the midfield. He wears number 26 in white. There he is now. Kavanaugh dishes, and it's scored. Who else? Jeffrey Richie Urdelli, Notre Dame's leading goal scorer on the night, continues his success. He's up to 5 now.
And we've seen this combination a fair amount tonight. The defender knows he has to pick up and slide to Kavanaugh, and that just leaves Richie Urdelli on the crease open and puts it far side.
Here comes Luke Blank. Surd was in search of Rose, and now Notre Dame will take over, and they got numbers. Here comes Brian Tevlin. Inside, Chris Kavanaugh converts. 4th goal of the night for Kavanaugh.
Starts on the defensive end. Looks like they got a stick in the passing lane, knocked the ball down. And then it's just numbers during this transition. The skip pass to Kavanaugh. And scores another one tonight.
And that's not a player you want to give wide open.
Soon with Georgetown and Maryland approaching.
Notre Dame also riding a 21-game win streak inside Loftus. Looking to continue that tonight, but Marquette has other ideas, and it's Bobby O'Grady with the finish near the crease.
It wouldn't surprise me if Coach Stimmel and the staff drew up a play similar to this right from that time out in the huddle. You have someone dodging there down the alley.
By a defender. That's Noah Verlinde. And what a strike, Chris Kavanaugh. 5th goal of the night for Chris Kavanaugh. And it's got Notre Dame up to a 19-10 lead.
And for the Fighting Irish, really, you just need to settle in and work the ball around. But Chris Kavanaugh finds himself up top.
Doing the same. There's Emmett Barger, number 9, and White gets a touch offensively. Another one of these seniors getting some action late in this game. Controlled by Westland. Shot comes and he scores. Fisher Finley gets his first goal of the season.
Well, Patrick, you mentioned if they were going to get to that 20-goal mark. It looks like the answer is yes. Finley adding himself to the name of goal scorers. And just really at this time, no one on his.
Notre Dame really using the shot clock here, getting everybody involved. Finley, Barger with a touch behind the cage. Dish inside, shot comes, it scored. Quick trigger. And it's Fulton Bayman able to score his first goal of the season.
And Notre Dame just getting more guys involved from the team. And in game one.
So final score tonight from Loftus Sports Center. Number 3 Notre Dame on opening night, able to secure a 21-10 victory over Marquette. Brian, just an all-around great game from Notre Dame. They came out from the jump firing with their scoring, but picked up the defense as well later on.
They did, and they did not let go. Where Notre Dame from the beginning set the tone. They got a lot of with the team involved, and you see on the scoreboard here, putting up 21 for game one is something that they want.